Hi guys, it's Tammy Dunnett with Conquer Conflict, and I wanted to talk today with you about something that happens a lot in the workplace that you might be quite familiar with, but not always in tune with what's behind it. Today I'm talking about intuition, the fifth sense, that gut feeling. It doesn't matter what you call it, maybe it's that inner voice or your sixth sense. It doesn't matter what you call it, but you've got something within you that gives you an idea and an assessment of a situation that maybe this isn't the right place, the right time, the right safety for you. So we're looking at the toxic workplace, and over the last few, I think maybe the last week or so, I've been coming on live and chatting with you about many of them. I have a list of 15 that I want to go through. There's a lot of things that can happen in a workplace, and if you're just joining me now, come on in. Actually, I should just put on a poll. I like doing the polls. I recognize that you may not always be here with me, but let's add a question. Do you always trust your gut feeling? Simple yes and no. You see that on the bottom of your screen there. You can just go ahead and vote with that. So if you're joining me, say hello in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're coming in from. And of course, if you have any questions, thoughts, comments you'd like to share, put them in there too. I love it when I can have a conversation with those who are also online. Getting back to the topic today of gut feeling, can I trust it when something is wrong, when I feel like something is wrong? And the answer is maybe. It is certainly an automatic processing that's happening in our body, like our brain is taking in all the sensory information and it's kind of filing this against all your past experiences, the outcomes, your education knowledge, and it's creating an emotional response. You know, this butterfly feeling in your stomach or kind of the sense of doom, whatever it is for you, that is an automatic subconscious process. But there are some good reasons for that. It's like our fight or flight to keep us protected. But at the same time, there's some pitfalls we need to be looking for, because we can certainly be misled by our gut feeling. And I wouldn't want you to leave a workplace or feel like you're not safe because we haven't done the work to understand it. So I do want to give you some things to watch out for and to consider as to whether or not you can trust that gut feeling. And then I'll give you a couple of things that you can do to help to maybe enhance your ability to trust that gut feeling, because they are there for a reason. But let's look at some of the pitfalls. One of them is that you have maybe a past experience with this particular person. And so then the context in which we look for, we tend to search for stuff that fits our impression and our expectation, which leaves us blind to all the other things happening in the environment. There's actually something called static evaluation. It's a concept I teach, in where we label somebody and maybe it says bad or unsupportive or untrusting. And we use the words that they are, meaning that they cannot become anything else. And that's what might be influencing intuition, is that you have this label upon somebody that would not allow you to see anything other than what your brain wants you to see. So that's one thing to watch for when you have a gut feeling. I mean, there are definitely times when there's just no need to discuss what you think is happening because a boundary has been violated. Maybe this is, sexual harassment, or perhaps this is where someone's gone through your belongings, or maybe there's just a lack of respect in that they're name calling and putting you down. Those are boundaries, they're crossed, they're violated. You don't need to discuss that or explore it at all. The ones that we do want to really hone in on are the ones where we might have like this unconscious bias towards somebody because of a past experience. And that static evaluation is an example. We also kind of have this systemic way of thinking about things. I wouldn't do that. We judge others by our expectations. I would never say those things, or this is what you should do, and shoulds are horrible. Take them out of your language. When I catch them coming through, I try to rewrite that and revisit what I'm saying, because shoulds are an example of judging somebody by my standard, my values, my expectations. And everybody's unique. Everyone has their own values, goals, and are quite articulate. Another thing that can influence your intuition is, what are your motivations? So in that moment, if you want something so badly enough, you're willing to overlook the dangers and to override that intuition that's telling you this is a no-go. Danger, danger, danger. Let's look at an example. Maybe you have taken this job, you're really excited about it. Give me a second. It's so dry here, it's winter. You're excited to get this new job. You went for the interview, and everything about the job on paper, how they explain it, what your role will be is amazing. This is exactly what you've been looking for. But there is something about the personalities in that interview that kind of gives you a sense that maybe it's not going to be just as they say. Perhaps you didn't ask any questions about culture or communication and conflict in the workplace, but you just kind of have this sixth sense that there could be some problems. Now, whether you take the job or not, irrelevant. Did you listen to that intuition? Did you nurture that intuition? Did you ask questions to uncover if you had any biases? So that's what I want to give you now are 3 things. There are more. I have a document that I often create for you guys. I want to give you as much information as I can share. And it's in the Conquer Conflict group. So if you are a part of that group, you'll see it's already posted there. And there's 5 things you can do. I'm going to tell you 3 of them now to help you nurture your intuition so you can better utilize it to help you make decisions for you when it comes to conflict in the workplace. The first one is to simply just welcome it. Right in that example where I talked about you went for a job interview and everything was great, you were so eager to take that job that you ignored the signs that your body was telling you that this may not be a good fit. Just welcome the fact that you're having these feelings. And with that welcoming, the second thing you want to do is to sit maybe either with silence and think about what you're feeling and how you are interpreting this, or talk with a friend and to dissect it and to explore it to see what is it. Maybe I do have a bias that I didn't know before. Maybe I am looking at past experience. Maybe this person looked just like the past workplace I had and I had a bully there. Where are your biases? And maybe there's none. So helping to understand and dissect that will help you to really harness the power of intuition. And then the third tip I will share with you is to just maybe take some action. You hear it. You've got this voice. You've got this feeling. And then what little steps can you do to help mitigate that or to help reassure that inner voice or to help explore those concerns? So take small action. Ask a question. What do you guys do when there's conflict in the workplace? Or share an example. You know, in my past workplace, this is what I saw. Is this something I could expect here? You know, just kind of really start to explore it and understand where that voice is coming from. And then once you understand how it works, the power is yours. But if you work in a workplace where you're constantly feeling these vibrations in your soul, these thoughts in your mind, I mean, thoughts is a little bit past intuition. This is now we're getting into cognitive. Intuition is really just that emotional, this is what's happening in the moment. It's my emotional reaction, my emotional, analysis of a situation. That's where our intuition sits. And I lost my train of thought there. Does anybody listening intuitively know where I was going? You can put it in the comments for me. Oh my gosh. Well, let's just wrap intuition up and say when you think you just know it, it's in your bones, you feel it. Listen to it, explore it, uncover any biases or blocks to truly see in the full context to understand if maybe part of your intuition is influencing conflict or how you see conflict, or if your intuition is leading you towards finding healthier ways to resolve it. That's what I have for today. I hope you're not in a workplace where you have this constant gut feeling that you're always having to watch your back. I know I certainly was at one time, and it's not a healthy place. And I know people still are in those workplaces, but I hope that you can find your voice through this process and create a safe place for you. Remember, you always have the power of choice, and you can choose to make it a great day. You don't have to choose to stay in a place that makes you sick. See you next time.